Today, for Mad Science in the Kitchen, we are going to try to make some Nukazuke. Uh, First appeal to this, I got to be honest, Nuka pickles. It sounds like a yummy fallout treat. I found this package. I cannot read Japanese. Unfortunately, all the instructions were in Japanese. These are Nukazuke starter. It has 12/20/19, which I'm hoping is the expiration date. So I think this guy should be good to go. Here's the actual rice bran. I've already toasted it. So I toasted it in a enameled cast iron Dutch oven. Stirred it constantly. Until it got an aroma and turned a little light brown. I got an equal amount of water to the weight of the Nuka, of the rice bran, which I boiled. I added salt, the salt being 13% of the weight of the rice bran. Hopefully I got that right, and it's not the weight of the rice bran in the water, but that's the way. So I'm getting this information from a Japanese YouTube video I found that was very good. I'm going to have a link of that on my YouTube page. But also B, from The Art of Fermentation by Mr. Katz, and it's a great book. So the water and the salt mixed up and dissolved. The water is now cool to room temperature. I have a number of pieces of komba, which is seaweed used in Japanese stocks. You can get it on Amazon or any Asian market. It's really easy to find. I got a couple chili peppers. I've taken the seeds out of these guys. So the komba is to add umami to the pickle mix. Now this pickle mix actually has some kind of mushroom flavor added. I don't know anything about it, but that's how it was advertised on the website where I bought it. I have here, fresh from my garden by the way, a big old cabbage leaf off one of my last cabbages, and some pieces of daikon. Most of my daikons I was letting go to seed, but this one got broken by the wind, so I figured what the heck. And it's probably a little too old to eat as it was going to seed. I imagine it's a little bitter, but for the purpose of starting the Nuka, it should be just fine. So I'm going to put some gloves on. I don't know that this is necessary. I mean, I wash my hands pretty good. Dude, the video was wearing gloves. I don't want to take any chances. I don't know how delicate this is. I really want to get it started before, I take any kind of risk with it. So then I'm going to add this in. And I'm going to stir. So the consistency, once it all gets added, it's supposed to be the consistency of like wet sand. I can already sort of feel that in my fingers. Now, it's said that obviously this is fermented vegetables that we're going to be making on the down the road. So there's lactobacillus is the bacteria that's doing the fermentation, and I think that's probably obvious for some folks who've played around with fermentation already. But also, I guess there's a lot of vitamin B that's added to the pickles, and that's just from the bran itself. So a little perk, and it does feel pretty moist already. It's getting that consistency that it's supposed to have. So you want to have, I guess, a glass or a ceramic deep dish vessel. Container that you can put this in for the long haul that you're going to be using for the purpose of the pickling. For my purpose here, I'm going to be using this Pyrex baking thing, and it has like a plastic container to it. I mean, a plastic lid to it. Perhaps a hard rubber. I'm not sure what the material is, to be honest with you. Okay, so I'm trying to get some of these harder to reach bottom spots here. But I think we're pretty good. Let me just got a little bit of water left here. Let's do that. Get that last bit of water in there. I'm really excited about this. This seems like a really cool, because once you get the starter going, and my understanding is it's going to be around 8 to 12 days before this bad boy is making pickles. You know, I got to activate it. But once it gets activated, your pickles are daily. And I live in Texas actually, so I suspect it's going to be half days for me once the heat really starts kicking in. But for, you know, if you're able to maintain a temperature between, I guess it's 65 and 77 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 to 25, I think was the Celsius, then it should be about a 1 day pickling process. I mean, that's pretty cool. If you decide you don't want to do it for a while, you got to go on vacation or something, you can put this in the fridge, and you can store it in the fridge in like an airtight bag or something along those lines for up to a week. If you want to go be doing longer than that, you can do 1 to 2 months in the freezer. Again, you want to have it fairly airtight in a good container. For something like that, I would probably vacuum seal. But oh yeah, this is definitely wet sand. I think we're good to go here. So now, get these pieces I dropped on my counter here. Counter should be fairly, I won't call it sterile, but I'll call it clean. You know, I went over it with a wipe a little bit before I started here. So, how they did it in the video, and I'm going to copy this, because I'm learning. They did it in little balls like this. Put the balls in. Kind of in the way here, I got a feeling. Let's see if I can't change this. Yeah, that's going to be better for seeing it. So I think this might actually, I was kind of worried that this vessel, this container, might be a little small. I'm actually thinking it's probably a pretty good size. I'm really excited about this. I can't wait. I can't wait. You know, because sometimes you don't want to just have to do a full load of pickles. Sometimes you don't want to have to eat a full load of pickles. Sometimes you just want 1 or 2 pickled items. And for that, this is the perfect solution. And plus, for experimentation purposes, you know, you're pickling so much faster, you can experiment with different flavors and spices and combinations in a lot faster way than you can with the other pickle styles. Oh yeah. Alright, so I feel good about this. You know where I did mess up though? I think I should have put my stuff in before I got everything in there. But that's alright. So I'm going to carve a little hole here. Now, let's put these in here for now. For the cabbage leaf, how they did it in the video, which I liked a lot, was they grab a piece of this, they will wrap it up in the leaf, and then they bury the rest of the leaf. So that's what I want to do, because it seems like a good plan. Well, heck, I'm kind of scared this thing isn't deep enough now. Let's see. I don't know, it seems to be working. So anything you put in here, you need to have it completely covered with rice bran. So I'm gonna have to see some of the cabbage is still sticking out. I'm gonna have to fix that. I can't have nothing sticking out. I just wanna figure out get this other stuff in there first. Okay, come here, you. So we don't want to forget the kombu, the seaweed. Again, that's for adding umami. Of course, there's usually salt on seaweed too, so kind of increases the salt a little bit, probably not very much. Oh, come here, you. Everybody get covered here. Yeah, I'm out of Made it look so easy. The Japanese guy made it look so easy. Alright. And of course we still got the peppers. Again, these are supposed to keep out bugs and stuff. We don't want bugs and stuff in our pickle mix. Alright, so we're doing alright here. Let's see. So we're going to bury this guy. Alright. Ooh. Okay, it seems like I just needed like one more handful. Okay. Alright. Now the dude in the video was very adamant keeping the sides clean, not letting any nuka stick to the sides. Now they didn't say anything about that in the book, but I'm suspecting the guy in the video probably knew what he was doing more. And again, if y'all want to see that, that's the proper way to learn how to do this. I'm really probably showing you how not to do some things. But hey, oh, it looks good. Got everything pretty much covered. So, gonna clean off the sides like the guy said. He probably knows what he's talking about. Okay. So now we pop a lid on it. Remember, I'm gonna have to cut the AC on probably on a daily just to keep it at temperature, because it's already starting to warm up here. We'll see. But so basically every day, and again I expect warmer temperature, so every day I need to get in there and flip it around twice a day. Okay, so you know, morning and evening is probably how I'm going to do it. And then from that point, every 2 to 3 days, you need to switch out those veggies. And then, after 2 to 3 times of switching out those veggies every 2 to 3 days, which is going to be, I guess, 8 to 12 days from now, this bad boy will be ready to start actually making pickles. So this will be fun. Let's see how it goes.